My name is Edith Ketcher Knight. I was the youngest of 6 children. My dad's name was William Bill Ketcher. My mama's name was Lula Jackson Ketcher. We lived at Piney. That's where I was born. I think that was part of my grandparents' allotment up there at Piney.
Were you born at home?
Mm-hmm. I think I was the only one that Mom had a doctor come see me after it was born. It was a big one room with a lean-to for the kitchen. And we were quite a ways back off of the main road there. But the only thing I can remember about it was when we moved. I think I was about 3 years old when we moved over close to what they call Orchard Road now. I lived there until Oil and I were married in 1958. I went to Chalk Bluff School till I went to high school at Stillwell. Of course, we had to walk about 2 miles from our house to the school. We played jacks and all marbles. As I got a little older, well, we liked to roll old tires. There'd be 5 or 6 other ones come by the house, and they all had a tire to roll. We'd roll them old tires, laws in, no telling how many miles. We'd just roll them tires. And there was a little hill close to my house over there, and one of the boys had a bigger tire, and he liked to get himself positioned in that tire, and would roll him off that hill in that tire. I played by myself a lot. I liked to find me a tree that had a lot of moss under it, and I'd make me a house out of rocks. Draw me a little area where it was my kitchen and all that kind of stuff. We had rag dolls, or maybe I remember one doll that I got for Christmas one time. Make the head and arms and legs and then stuff them with more rags. We didn't have a car. We'd either walk to town on Saturdays, or maybe we might catch a ride with the neighbor in a rubber-tired wagon. That's usually the thing we did. We'd get up early and go to town on Saturday, stay all day. And if it was strawberry picking time, we might all go together and get us a taxi back home. That's when it was just like 25 cents a mile or something other when they had the taxis. We thought we was really living high then. We'd pick strawberries sometime there'd be a big truck come pick us up and take us to pick strawberries. In the early part of the strawberry season, there was a place over in Farmington, Arkansas that had some little camps. We'd bundle up our stuff and take it and go stay in those little tin huts during the strawberries over there. One of the fun things we had to do while we was there, we as kids would go down to where the next people over had electric wire around their property, I guess, to keep their cattle in. We'd get us some long sticks and see who could hold on, touch that electric wire the longest. I don't know, it was just a challenge. We didn't have a phone, we didn't have electricity till I was in high school. And we used the old oil lamp. I'd do my homework by oil light. During the work season, Mama would buy a battery for the radio. It's one of them big old, it was about that long, about this wide. I remember coming home from school, Mom and Dad would eat early, and they'd save me a bowl of beans, a piece of cornbread, and a big old rabbit leg. It'd be in that warm in the closet. Like I said, we didn't have a car, but I made me a car. We had this tree in the yard, and I'd take me an old lard stand lid that was about this big around. I'd drive a nail through that lid and into that tree, and I'd sit there with that tree, and boy, I'd just drive, just pretend I was going everywhere. She'd buy flour in 25-pound sacks, and she'd save those sacks till she had 2 or 3 of them alike. She'd make me a dress. I got 1 pair of shoes a year. Get them before we started school in the fall, and I just couldn't wait to get them off. In the springtime, just like now, I like to go barefooted.
Hey.
I liked it when they started having lunches, hot lunches at school. It's mostly just soup, but man, it tasted good. I could just smell it. They had, Chalk Bluff had 2 rooms, had a big room, and a little room. And the little room was closest to the lunchroom outside in another building. And that soup just smelled so good. And then the big kids, some of the big kids would get to go down the road and over to another house to get milk. And before that, well, we'd either take Mama would cook enough biscuits and taters or something for breakfast, and that's what we'd take for lunch. But when we had light bread now, we'd go sit with everybody. My mama was the doctor. Yeah, she took care of everybody. She made her own medicine. If you had a cold, she'd rub that ointment on you that she'd made and put a warm cloth on you, and man, that'd flat open your head up. If you were coughing, she'd give you a teaspoon of something she'd made. Something Mom used to make, she needed skunk grease. I think we learned survival back then. I don't know if the kids could. I hope they never have to be challenged with it, but I don't know how they would get by.